Hey, I'm back still at my house. Same evening actually, but I thought if I broke this up into two videos that may be more helpful for everybody. So what I want to focus on now is something that our textbook talks about in chapter 10. If you have not read chapter 10, you're going to need to be able to complete at least one of the questions on your topic proposal. And I'm going to focus on one aspect of chapter 10, which is the causal chain. And basically what the causal chain says is because A happened, then B happened, then C happened, then D happened, then E happened. So there's this chain of events, essentially, or chain of factors, all kind of like the domino effect, all causing the next one to happen, and you finally end up at your whatever that final result is. So I will show you my written work, because again, I'm still writing, but I wanted to see if I could document, a causal chain. I know the lighting's not the best, but you can see I wrote causal chain at the top. And I started with what I thought is one of the primary reasons we might find ourselves gaining weight when we get to college. So I said college equals freedom plus options. So those are some of my initial causes. Now, you may think, what in the world do options and freedom have anything to do with gaining the freshman 15? Well, I'm going to show you how I work myself from that down to the freshman 15 and how they're all interrelated to each other. So I wrote college equals freedom and options. And then I started listing what are those freedoms. Well, we have freedom from parental oversight. Our parents aren't here to help us make every decision. We have the freedom to do our own thing, to follow our peers, to set our own schedule, whatever we want to do. In terms of options, I talked through some of these for my brainstorm in the previous video. There's a cafeteria buffet. There's the option for late night snacks. And we're often up later when we're in college because of studying and socializing and all the fun things that come along with that. And also, the other option you have to take into account that might affect gaining weight is that there are lots of unhealthy options that are readily available to college students, especially if you're living on campus. So something else, another cause that I connected in this picture of college and the freshman 15 is that college is busy, stressful, with a jam-packed schedule. And those things can lead to being more sedentary because of your studying and choosing convenience over nourishment. So what I want you to hear is that there's a relationship. These aren't simply independent factors that are not influenced by anything and just exist in a vacuum. Actually, the very opposite is true, that they're all interconnected in some way. And so what I'm trying to piece together is what came first as a cause that led to the next thing, that led to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So we're analyzing kind of in almost a backwards fashion how we ended up at the freshman 15. So once I had kind of laid out some of that interconnected relationship, I then just started writing again. And this is what I find myself doing because I'm a balance between logical, ordered, systematic planning type of a brain and one that also needs some freedom and some space and some unstructured time to think and to process. So the first piece where I was kind of laying out that causal chain was my organized, structured time. And then I moved into some free writing, which gave me that unstructured space that I need. And this is what I wrote. I said, here's the scenario. Keeping in mind my audience that I've identified and I think that I'm working towards. Your daughter is accepted into college, eagerly anticipating the freedom, fun, and growth that will result. But because she's 18-ish and her gray matter isn't fully formed in her brain, she's prone to short-term thinking and impulsive rationale. But it's not all her fault. College is busy. Hello, 8 a.m. classes. Stressful. So many tests and papers. And overwhelming. She wants to do all the things. With all these factors converging, The perfect storm brews up the dreaded freshman 15. As parents, you can help prepare your sons and daughters for these new circumstances and also help them keep a healthy perspective on the changes coming their way. So that's how that's what I did in the next step of my journey, is started thinking more deeply about, I know what some of the causes and effects are, how are they interconnected, and how can I start piecing that together? And so what you see that I did, or what you heard that I did in that free write, is simply took a parent through the process of accepted to college, ready for it, excited, but then encounters this, and this, might lead to the freshman 15, and here's my perspective on how to respond to that. Okay, just what happened in my brain. Maybe something totally different happens in yours. I'm going to stop this video at this point, and then I'm going to make one, maybe two more short videos to kind of give you my next steps. But I want to break this into small chunks so that it's manageable and you can replicate this or use this strategy yourself. So my challenge then is for you to develop a causal chain. Look at the interconnected relationship between those causes and effects that you have brainstormed.